Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Friday edition of Moohead Radio. I'm your host, the big and furry bovine. Joining me, Tony the calf. We're not sure where Brian is. We sure hope he's okay wherever he is and that he made it back safely from the nation's capital.
So I've been in a coma since Tuesday. Anything interesting happen?
Yeah. I'll tell you, the only good thing that I can tell you is that the Browns have reopened their facility as of 4:30 and that they're practicing. Which is more than we can say for what we got to do very much the last game. I'm not sure if we're practicing inside or outside. I imagine we're practicing inside because it's dark outside. You know, and but at least it's being able to go through some form of reps, and Baker will get to throw the football today and tomorrow, assuming there are no more positives tomorrow. But again, I think that the NFL is a real culprit in all of this. They acknowledged for the first time, hi Amsterdam, how you doing? They acknowledged for the first time that there was person-to-person spreading, and that was, the first reference that they got away from just the contact tracing and, but of course, too little too late. And the league was the first ones to pop up and say, hey, nobody else turned up positive. Game's still on, and all of that happy stuff. So we're all going to be basically watching a football team that we still don't have any idea if Denzel Ward is going to play. It's a mess, and it's going to be a mess. Meanwhile, if I'm looking at it from the other side, here's the headline: the Steelers could get significant players back for the game against the Browns. Inside linebacker Robert Spillane and offensive lineman Matt Filer could come off the injured reserve and be available for the wild card game. Spillane missed the final 4 games of the regular season on injuring his knee on December the 7th against the Washington football team. Filer missed the final 3 games of the regular season after injuring his pec muscle following the following week against Buffalo. And again, this has been the story of the year is that almost every team is dealing with shortages in one way or another. And timing is the key to all things. And look, I mean, again, glass half empty, glass half full. None of us are happy with what's happening for the Browns. But had it happened earlier in the year, we wouldn't have made the playoffs.
Right.
So, so here we sit on the precipice of a game at 8:15 on Sunday that every single pundit has said that we are going to lose. Some more happily saying it than others, some more sympathetically saying it than others. The Browns fans, when polled on Cleveland.com, said that they were going to lose. I think everybody is pretty certain that the team is not going to win. But what I will tell you is this: we want to see again the fight in the dog, and that is more important to me. If we go out on the field and we just start making mistakes and we just blow ourselves up, that's one thing. Let's let the Steelers blow us up. If that's going to be the case, let their efforts, not psychology of the situation, but the fruits of the labor of the Steelers, or if it were Cordell Stewart, the labors of a fruit in Pittsburgh, to determine the outcome of the game. That's all I ask, is that the Browns play hard, play smart, execute as best they can. Sendejo is playing. Thank you, Rick, for that great update. Yeah, I knew that. I didn't mention it because I was talking about helping our side. Now it's the time of the program where do you have the ability to go up on cam, Tony, or is your cam out?
My cam is out. I'm on my racing simulator computer.
Well, so this is what we do periodically. I like doing impersonations. I was doing impersonations with Roxanne earlier, with Larry King being in the
Hold on,
hospital.
give me just a second. I will pull up my phone and I will bring up a second instance of the show.
Ah, all right, yeah. I mean, doing Larry King impressions is really rude right now because the question is whether Larry King is going to get out of the uh, the hospital. But I wish that Roxanne was on the program so she could do her Larry King impression. It was outstanding. It was absolutely outstanding. And there's the okay. We can do this together. This is something that I know that we can share.
Aha!
Oh wait, I'm going to make this an equal pairing here. Wait a sec. No, 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 no.
2 instances of me. That's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, but it's cool. We go side by side because we're blood brothers. All right, here we go. All right, let's simultaneously do our best Tony Lasorda
Tommy
impression.
Lasorda.
Tommy Lasorda.
Hold on.
Ready?
Oh, shit, hold on. I gotta prop this phone up somehow. Come on.
You can do it.
Try to use a mouse. There we go. Can you see me good enough there?
Yeah, I think we can tell what you're really doing.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. We've been doing it for years, folks, and it's part of the pathetic act that makes Moohead Radio unpopular as it is.
I would say you could do that for the Washington police officer too, but let's not go that far yet.
Oh, no, too soon, too soon. I mean, I can't even think of a joke for that. I'm just stepping that whole thing altogether.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why Brian isn't on the show, because maybe there's just a burnout factor as far as that whole thing. But if Rox, I know you're in. Wait. I'll do my Larry King impression next time. No, this time. There is no next time. The Browns are going to be out of the playoffs. This is the good luck charm for the Cleveland Browns, Rox. You can't just say no and be capricious, SAT word, about that. You have this. And what's the story, Rick? I mean, are you being serious? Don't tell me you have COVID. Don't tell me that. I hope not. Like you need lip gloss to do Larry King. Women can't live with them, can't live without them. My goodness. But she's going to get on here and do her Larry King, and that's important. Hi, Cindy. How you doing? It's nice to see some of the people here. That's right. At a delicate time in America, we need rock singing Titanium. That is how strong we are as a nation. So, Pittsburgh is getting stronger. We're just getting to the game. And I want to see, this is Baker Mayfield's, Baker has been a real trooper about this. No excuses. No, there are kryptonite. No, they were calling out our place at the line of scrimmage, Lamar Jackson excuses. Baker Mayfield is saying that, this is just something we have to overcome. And this is part of the game. And, thank goodness it was just a Monty Python reference.
Yeah. Phew.
Yeah, I know. You never know anymore these days. It's nuts. We have all odds stacked against us, and that's kind of the way Baker Mayfield likes it. Him against the world. I just want him to play smart and not try to be. Some of the greatest quarterbacks like Bob Greasy, would be a good example. Bart Starr. They made the plays when they had to, but they didn't throw 40 times a game when you had Zonka and Kick and Mercury Morris. Didn't have to in Miami.
Right.
And the Browns have two really fine running backs. I'm concerned about that offensive line of ours. God only knows you cannot replace Joel Bitonio. And the poor soul, what's his name? Dunn? I hate that last name. Yeah. And Joe is telling us a little story. You know, you were 12 when Dad bought you season tickets for the Ravens. Yeah. Again, I have absolutely I despise Art Modell, not the Baltimore Ravens organization. I mean, everything that the Ravens have done, first under Ozzie Newsome, and then on forward, they've done the right things. They've run a tight ship, a good organization. I don't like the fact that they've kicked us in the groin, but we didn't have a class organization, and we didn't have top-notch people running the gears and making the gears go around. We didn't have that. So there may have been some anger and envy among some Cleveland fans. I never wished anything bad on the Ravens. I do wish that Lamar Jackson, though, would just shut his mouth, play the game, because nobody wants to hear the editorializing. Now it's playoff time. It's put up or shut up. And it's the same for every team. It's lose and go home. And it's that way for the Ravens. It's that way for the Steelers. It's that way for the Browns. All the teams from our division are in the same circumstance. I think our game is harder than some others, but eventually the rubber meets the road, and you're going to have to face the best teams if you get further in. So the way Lamar Jackson should be looking at it, he may get an opportunity to face his kryptonite, and conquer it. And the way Baker Mayfield's going into this, it's like, hey, this is what we live for, to go out and play in the playoffs. And I think it's a great thing. And my prank call to the Vikings ticket office. Did I do that?
I remember you made that.
Me?
What was that? What was that for?
Oh, it has something to do with the fact that they weren't selling tickets. Was it the Vikings or the Lions?
No, it was the Vikings. You did it because you were playing a prank on me.
Oh yeah, and it was that we wanted to buy X number of tickets. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I used to do foolish things like that when I had a telephone here. They took it away from the cow. It was dangerous. I would be calling out all over the place, and it wasn't so not such a good idea. And I think we all, we don't take anything for granted, Tom. Yeah, you don't know if you're going to be there next year or not. You just don't know. So who's to say? You make hay while the sun shines. Isn't that the expression? This is our opportunity. And here she is.
The lady in, what the hell is that, cheetah print?
Chia pet? Did you call her a chia pet?
Chia.
All right. Can you hear us okay, Rox?
I can. I'm having technical difficulties at the moment.
Oh, really? What are your problems that you're having?
I'll get back to you in just a minute.
Okay. Yeah, she's having difficulties, but
we'll go ahead with one of them being that her microphone's about the size of my left leg.
No, actually,
Jesus Christ, that thing's huge.
No, she likes. She wanted to have a
mushrooms.
Yeah, she liked the mushroom head. Kind of thing that for. No, actually, so that she doesn't. It's a muffling device. I forget. Not a spit guard. No, whatever. It's the pop filter is what it is. Yeah. So I used to use socks. I used to put a sock over my microphone. So
next time on Larry King, constipation or COVID, which is worse? Caller from Okmulgee, Oklahoma. You're on the air.
She did one earlier. Killed me. Do the one that killed me earlier.
Constipation.
No, constipated men. Right? Come on.
Constipated men and the women that love them.
Oglala, Nebraska, you're on the air. Larry King, get well soon, Larry. Just do something.
Get well soon, Larry.
Yeah. And today, if you're not aware, is the last Alex Trebek Jeopardy show, the very last one he did. So you can pay respects to Alex Trebek, by watching that program tonight. It shows here at 7:30 on the local CBS affiliate. Wherever you are, it might be different. But really, quite a run for Alex, and too bad. And what you'd be watching tonight was really only about a week from the time that he passed away. So, yeah. I mean, he worked it good up until the end. So give him a lot of credit. Joe wants to know if you'll make a voodoo doll of Freddie Kitchens.
I was trying to ignore that one.
The voodoo reference?
Yes, the voodoo reference.
Well, then would you boil them in a pot?
Oh, God.
I know. It's like, come on. Can't we be a little bit less transparent? Let's be opaque for a while. And D-Cup Toe Juice, here we go. The biggest game since Denver in the 80s, and we kicked John Denver's ass, in that one.
Yep.
By the 80s, he didn't even have any following left,
Brian, you can still join the show. We haven't said much in 15 minutes.
No, we haven't got it. I was waiting for Brian to show up, What we did to John Denver is we filled up his senses. Look at this. He's just angry.
He's ready to storm the program.
I know. My goodness. I don't know. You triggered. Oh, God almighty. So at any rate, the Browns have their work cut out, and the play calling responsibilities, I guess AVP is what we'll call him. Like we have DCP, like we, I used to drive a GTO, and
I was a member of the Harper Valley PTA.
There you go. And I don't. I'm not negative about the game. All right, at all. I would love, I think that Stefanski will have scripted the first 20 plays of the game. Oh, here's Brian. He's coming.
There he is.
Hi, Brian. How you doing?
I'm much better now.
Good. You have a little technical difficulties?
Yeah. I set my alarm for fucking 2:29 a.m. And I just woke up and I was like, oh shit, I missed the fucking show. God damn it. It's the playoff game and I gotta miss this one.
Well, it's better that you didn't miss the game
itself. Jets. Ah!
Wouldn't that be incredible? You missed the game itself.
No, that's definitely not happening. Thank God it's Sunday night.
Here we go. Rocky Mountain High.
Straight into the water. Just like JFK Jr. Straight into the water.
That was my tribute to John Denver. My goodness.
Rox, if you start singing WAP, I'll never listen to the show ever again.
Just for that, I'm learning the lyrics.
I got a better one. Hey, I got a better one for Rox. What about the skiing accident with
Sonny Bono?
What about it? I'm trying to come up with a song reference for that, but I'm not quite following.
Well, forgive me. I just woke up.
Go downhill. Poor Sonny. Poor Sonny ran into a tree. Isn't that terrible? What a way to go.
You would think that would be more appropriate for George of the Jungle.
Yeah, well, that happened, I think, repeatedly.
Sonny of the Jungle just doesn't quite work.
What crashed worse, Sonny Bono or the Indians' payroll? Tonight on Moohead Radio.
Next time on Larry King, when going down goes wrong.
Oh my God!
Thank you.
When your career really hits rock bottom.
So that you know, the only Browns assistant offensive line coach, Scott Peters, tested positive for COVID, awaiting word on practice, which is going down now, but going down. Forget it. We're not reliving that moment from just a moment ago. So we have offensive line coach. We have no offensive line coach, no assistant offensive line coach, and we're missing our primary offensive lineman. That's all a coincidence, folks. There isn't an outbreak in Berea, okay? That's just a coinky dink. But it's too late to complain about that. Yeah. I'm not negative about the game. What I would love to see is the first, in the first scripted plays for the Browns, just to go down the field and score, and just so we were ahead, just so that Pigpen Roethlisberger, then what I want to see is him check down and do the little over the middle thing, and Jacob Phillips to tip the ball into the hands of our defender, and we run it in and we're ahead 14-0. That's all I want to see. And everything that happens after that, whatever it is. What's this? The seductive picture? Make that stop, dear God.
Match.com profile over here.
Yeah, it looks like an Afro Sheen commercial. All right, that's better.
Why Afro Sheen? I mean, really.
It's ethnic. I mean, I'll be honest. I mean,
What was the activator scene from Hollywood Shuffle?
I don't know.
Just give me my activator, man. Just give me my activator.
So, but it isn't just football, folks. Philadelphia 76ers Seth Curry, the midget, less talented brother of the guy who scored 62 points, he tested positive for coronavirus. And the Celtics have placed 3 players in the COVID protocol. So the NBA is getting hammered with this too. This is not just a football thing. The second you come out of the bubble, you're going to get this. And, it's what I tell people all the time. If you want to be out there, if you have to go to work, you got to go to work. And if you want to go out there and eat out in a restaurant, you can eat out in a restaurant. Eating out when it could be deadly. Next time on Larry King Live. But you increase your chances exponentially to get this disease, and you could live a dull life like we do. And so far, God willing, you stay healthy. But there are no assurances. There are no assurances at all. But it's happening all over in sports, not just in football. I thought an interesting quote, Baker Mayfield's comments that he was ready to, quote, keep the chains moving with Alex Van Pelt. I think the Browns have to play a ball control game here. They can't be looking for big chunk plays through the air for a number of reasons. One, it increases the chances of turnovers that lead to quick scores for the opposition. And we got to use the clock to our advantage, because the more our defense is exposed, the more points the Steelers will score. It's just that simple. I think we're forced to kind of play the kind of game that the Ravens were forced to play against the Steelers when they lost 20-14 and damn near pulled it off without Lamar Jackson. You get yardage on the ground. Maybe you get a couple of chunk plays from Nick Chubb. But, one of the things that the Steelers took away from the Browns in their meetings was this whole bootleg thing that Baker and Stefanski love to do. And they have a wide defensive end who charges in and takes that quarterback no matter what. And, they will break the scheme, even if it means that it might put them in a leverage situation somewhere else in the field that is not as promising They will do everything they can to stop that naked boot that is so much of the action that the Browns have used this year successfully. It's the way that Baker's been getting the ball to tight ends and people over the middle of the field. Plus, he throws inordinately accurately in that scenario. The Browns, are going to be forced to run the football, and they're going to be forced to, because misdirection doesn't work particularly well because of the way Tomlin sets up his defense. They know what they're going into in the game. They know what the Browns' tendencies are, and they're coached up to stop those things. If the Browns are going to win, they're going to have to do something different. And that means they're going to have to form a pocket for the quarterback. He's going to have to throw without play action faking. That's going to be part of what they have to do. And they have to prove that they can run the ball right at the Steelers. It's going to be all about clock and keeping this game as a low-scoring game and keeping it close and then hoping for the best. It's not the best strategy. And what that means is the Cleveland Browns will be playing a softer zone. Ben Roethlisberger will find men open in the middle of the field like he likes to do. But the idea is we're going to say, hey, if you're going to score, we're going to make you use up a lot of clock in the process. That's got to be what they're going to do or try to do. So,
well, but I think they're going to go back to the well on the outside routes with Primus Claypool.
Well, I think that, again, and if you need to have a good technique defender, and we're not talking about Terrence Mitchell, we're talking about Denzel Ward, you need to get somebody on the field who can stop that receiver. I would rather have the questionable hands, even though he caught an incredible catch the last time we played, of Deontay Johnson, who's been dropping passes this year, force him to go over the middle and hear footsteps, than to let the big guy get down the field. And then you have Smith-Schuster, Smith Barney, and is shooting his mouth off, saying they're still the same old Browns. I don't know if you saw that piece of locker room.
Oh yeah.
They not allowed to dance.
Several Browns have been commenting on that on Twitter, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
including Mac Wilson, who would like to really
I wish he
slam the shit out of him if he comes over the middle.
Well, Mac hasn't really done very much this year. I think of all the players that we were looking at when the season began to make a potential quantum leap, Mac Wilson would have been the linebacker, and he's regressed in this system. And he has, actually Taki has assumed a lot of the snaps that Mac Wilson would have been playing. Mac Wilson.
Did you talk about BJ coming back and the fact that they can actually practice today? They were able to practice at 4:30.
Yeah, I mean, Goodson is important in coverage, pass coverage, and he's a good, solid, sound tackler. That's gonna be what we do with the tight ends and try to keep him in the middle of the field.
Well, and he's the one that took over for Schobert for calling the defense.
Yeah, and we get suggestions from the chat room. The cover two to prevent the long pass and blitz the corners periodically. I mean, here's the thing with Ben Roethlisberger. He doesn't move nearly as well as he used to. And if you can get your arms around him.
But he's still 250 pounds.
He's a big fella, but he will throw the ball.
I mean, you might as well ask those guys to tackle fucking McDonald when he's when he's downfield.
But one thing I'll say about Roethlisberger, it isn't so much that he will break tackles like he used to. He'll keep himself up long enough to get rid of the ball and throw it out of bounds. That's really what you're trying to accomplish with him, is just to waste a down.
Or to hit a check down for a 10-yard gain.
Yeah, again, if somebody's hanging on him, he doesn't have the arm strength that he used to have. I don't see it, and I haven't seen it in any of the games that he's played. What's the weather going to be like in Pittsburgh? Do we have any indication on that?
Let me check.
Yeah. So
Busy. They just suspended Trump from Twitter. So.
Oh, no shame.
Again?
A shame.
No, like this is permaban. He's gone.
He's permaban. He's gone.
Yeah.
He gone. So
Sunday. Hold on. Check the 10-day forecast. Sunday, partly cloudy, 41 degrees. Humidity 67%. Winds 4 miles an hour.
yeah, I mean
the low's going to be 27.
yeah. All right.
So it's probably around 35 degrees.
Yep. I mean, let it be as cold as it can be for Ben because he looks like he's stiff as a board playing in cold weather. But again, yeah, you don't want Claypool to beat you. He's a big physical receiver. And you could see what was happening. He was forcing the defender behind him and was wrestling and getting in position in front of the receiver and winning those jump balls. You got to get a little more physical with him and get in front of him and not get manhandled. And these referees will let these guys play. I mean, I think the referees have been told kind of chill it a little bit, because, our last game against them was really, they were not throwing flags except for the obvious mistakes that our offensive line made, but they were not calling holding calls. They were just allowing the game to get played. That's, the most that we can ask for is that we're given a level playing field in the game, even if it's not with personnel, it's with officiating. Here's a question. Does anyone know where to find the Browns 2021 team yearbook? No.
I think the one from this year, but I'm looking for it.
Trader.
I know. He came to visit me today during the show.
Damn, doggy. he was playing circle tail bite here. That's what he was doing. And it was gnawing on my hand. And I pulled my hand away, it's like, I got to concentrate on what I'm doing here. He turned. Now he's going to start biting you. So you can.
Yeah, well, yeah, he has begun the biting.
Circle tail bite. You're getting. I wish I could show the people at home what circle tail bite is. What it is, he goes in a circle and I grab his tail and he swings around and bites my hand. That's circle tail bite. There he is. Oh, he's camera shy.
I guess so.
God, he's like Brian. Oh boy. It's but again, the Browns defensively have to make it time consuming for the Steelers. So it's imperative that you stop the run. But if they run 4 yards at a time and chug the ball down the field, so be it. Then you got to try to keep them out of the end zone. You got to try to force them into threes. By the way, the kicker is probably going to be back, but it doesn't matter because the kicker from Miami of Ohio did a tremendous job last week for them. And it's all about making them work for everything that they get. So, and look who's back. Hope has the wolf is back over here. So where he belongs. But keeping the chains moving for the Browns. You're going to see a lot of multiple tight end situations, throwing the ball short and over the middle. And, the Steelers are smart. What I would do if I were Cleveland, because they're going to come storming through to sack the quarterback. They're going to be putting early pressure on. I would be utilizing both Chubb and Hunt with screen passes to see if they're a little overly excited, to get some of our guys maybe on the outside and to juke guys for additional yardage. I'd like to see us utilize the width of the field more effectively. I think that if you look at the Browns' biggest plays, especially Nick Chubb's biggest plays, they're not just the ones that are going between the tackles. They're the ones that go wide, and they buy him the time to make the cutbacks that he needs to make. So we've got to play the width of the field to our advantage, and throwing passes that are bubble screens to our wide receivers might not be a bad idea as well. anything you can do to keep the clock running and keep the chains moving, that's going to be the deal. And it's what a lot of the commentators and pundits are saying is that the Browns might hang with them for a quarter or two. But after that, when the scripted play calls expire and run out, and it's all up to AVP to call the plays, it could be a completely different story. So at that point, that's when you start looking when halftime adjustments are made and things have to be called on the basis of the changes that the Steelers make. I'm a firm believer that you do what you do best, and if they stop you, they stop you. You just got to get better next year. But I don't want the Freddie Kitchens knee-jerk reaction, which is, well, if they're going to do this, I'm going to go ahead and run a double, triple reverse with a cherry on top. I don't want to see that kind of shit. So no, it's not that I'm negative about this. I'm realistic about it. And I think that the longer the Browns stay in the game, the better the chance, and they have, and the more pressure will be put on the Steelers, who are totally expected to win. By the way, nothing but friends and family are allowed in, Heinz Field. So it's not like they're going to have a big menagerie of crazy towel-waving maniacs. There's not going to be many people there watching this. So it's going to be incumbent on the players on both teams to get their adrenaline up because of what's on the line. I guess that's the way it should be. The Steelers earned the right to have this game at home. And, they're the team that is the, I think that if you asked people, they'd still say the Steelers would be favored over the Ravens, even though I'm thinking to myself, this isn't the same Steelers team that I've seen in the past. But until they're vanquished, they're still at the top of the heap, and they did finish first. So give them that much. And I know that Joe Shipley is in here because he wants us to beat the Steelers so his Ravens don't have to play that team.
Yep.
I mean, and the familiarity thing of playing a team 3 times. I mean, and the thing about Mike Tomlin ain't going to get fancy on you. He's going to go right at you, and he's going to say, this is what we do. This is Steeler football. Now you try to stop it. That is, in a nutshell, what he does. So I don't think you're going to see anything really special or different. I think what you're going to see is a lot of aggression. You're going to see them really exploding off the snaps, and you're going to see their offensive line firing, but especially their defensive line firing off to do everything they can to get in the backfield to stop that Browns running game. I think that they're going to stack the line of scrimmage, that they're going to force the Cleveland Browns into one-on-ones with their less speedy wide receivers, and they'll be willing to take chances that way because the Browns don't really have big, deep threats, not like they would have if OBJ were playing, don't have that kind of thing. So I think you can count on that. They're going to do everything they can to take the running game away from the Browns. And the Browns got to do what the Titans did last week. You got a battering ram, use him. We've got Nick Chubb, we got to use him. And I don't want to see him standing on the sidelines with a little jacket on. I don't want to see that. You go down with your best. If you're going to go down, you go down with your best. It's just that simple. As far as, everybody is predicting the game pretty damn much the same way. And what was interesting, the overall spread is that Pittsburgh's 5.5-point favorite. I think that it should be greater than that, to be honest with you. I mean, seeing as what we've gone through and the lack of, practice that we have. I mean, and ESPN is picking the game, and their two guys, Trotter and Pryor. Trotter is picking this game 28-26 Steelers, which I'd be thrilled if it came down to the end of the game and we had our hooves on the ball, 2 points down with the chance. No, I take that back. We'd have to score a touchdown. No more Cody Parkey jokes. And Steelers picked by Pryor 21-17.
Yeah, it'll be a Shane Falco fake field goal for a touchdown.
Yeah. Now, Pittsburgh has a 67.9% chance of winning by an average of 6.1 points, according to the FPI prediction. So, I mean, and this pretty well plays out. I think people are respectful of the job that Kevin Stefanski's done, except for Stephen A. Smith. And I think that by and large, they're being respectful by saying, hey, the Browns are going to be, in this game. I think that's based upon, just the respect that, that they're getting finally. As far as what this means for fans, I don't feel this, I think that we should have had this a long time ago,
What? Yes and no, because I think that it really took getting the right assistant coaches in place too, not just the right head man.
Well, I think that first of all, you got
all these guys were under contract in 17 and 18. So
yeah, and I think that you at least have some the makings of a couple of good offensive linemen. I think at the same time, though, you drafted a guy who turned out to be good. Jedrick Wills has been very good, especially in the running game. Just a mauler. It's been very, very good. I think that then you get the fortune of a guy who the previous regime picked up in Wyatt Teller, who just turns out to be a fantastic player. I mean, in the scheme that he's in now. And he showed none of that early on, and he didn't show it in Buffalo. I mean, it's not like Buffalo doesn't want to have a great offensive line as well, but he was expendable because he never really showed that much, and he's really blossomed in Cleveland. So, that's kind of the exciting part of things is that, yeah, we have some continuity of players, but we never had any continuity in the past, and I would have expected getting at least a playoff game.
But you never would have gotten this performance out of Bob Wiley or the other asshole.
No.
So, that's what I'm saying about the assistant coaches really making a huge impact on the overall performance of the team.
Proper staffing is a huge part of this, and and getting the players to focus. The problem now, of course, is that once you've raised the expectations, it's what it's like. It's like, who is the guy who played center field? We got him from the Cardinals organization. Guy we put in center field 2 years ago, and he had this really great start. And then toward the end of the season, he started falling off. And then last year fell off the map completely. Really a fast guy, and I can't remember his name even. Center fielder, Mercado, is that his name?
Oscar Mercado.
Yeah, and a lot of times you might have a good rookie season, Joe Charbonneau, but what happens is people are finding out what your weaknesses are. They have a whole offseason to take a look at what you do, and you become a target. I mean, quite honestly, nobody's going to fall asleep playing a team that's a playoff team. And so you have to prove your mettle. And so the Browns will have increased expectations next year, and you'll see how the team and the coaching staff handles those expectations. Freddie Kitchens couldn't handle it at all, and the players went into the shitter because people had these high expectations for them after what they had done the previous back end of the season. Well, it's been a good, solid season for the Browns. And to me, this is just one season. And I'd be thrilled to see this team put up a tremendous fight on Sunday and come back and prove that they're really deserving of the playoffs next year as well. and that we have something to look forward to year instead of having to wait perhaps another 18 years before we see this again.
And one last thing I would like to say is, how fucking cool would it be that a coach who grew up in fucking Ohio, being a Browns fan, coaching the team in the first playoff win since Belichick, how fucking great would that be?
Yeah, I mean, anything that happens where the team really makes a great game of this, if that's even possible under the circumstances, is going to get people even more excited in this team. And I think the city is really taken to the job that's been done. So, and then at the same time, we end up with a baseball team that gets rid of Lindor and Carrasco and gets nothing in return. And this is the kind of thing that makes fans really upset. And, your team is either moving in a forward direction, and the Cleveland Indians now, and it's remarkable, their payroll right now is $35 million. The Cleveland Indians and the Dolans have cut their payroll from over $100 million, gotten rid of all of their talent, and are now $35 million, which is Tampa Bay Rays territory. And so they've gotten what they wanted, which is just to hoard money. They've never been about winning first. And the letdown of these types of things that we, as fans, we can sniff it out. And we're sniffing the Browns for saying, ooh, this smells good, man. It's like this team looks like they got some gumption to them. But looking at the Indians, why is anyone going to pay to see, a bunch of nobodies on the field? And, what was the point of just, and again, it's like, well, we're going to toss Carrasco. Thank you. Hope your leukemia gets better. And we're sending you off to the Mets. And, and not getting any pitching or anything in return, really, except for some guy named Wolf, who is a small framed, but, 97-mile-an-hour thrower. And who knows what kind of arm injuries he might incur, because he's only 19, 20 years old. And we got two shortstops, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. Maybe they felt that if they play both of them and platoon them, it will in some way replicate the production of Francisco Lindor. Maybe they're just having drug problems there in the front office.
Well, and hopefully the other kid can actually play center field.
Who, Jimenez or Jimenez?
Yeah, my name is Jose Jimenez.
Jose. Again.
There's your Right Stuff reference for the show.
Yeah. Fans know. Fans know when you're serious and when you're not serious. I say the Browns right now are serious. The Indians are not serious at all. And, and it's a shame.
Aham's Bert is spelled with a U.
Yeah.
B-E-R-T.
Bert and Ernie. Yeah.
Bert Rinaldi. Great.
But what's even more amazing? $35 million payroll. And when Jacobs owned the team all the way back in the 1990s, the payroll was $80 million. Long before all these massive contracts. This is embarrassing. We're in Florida Marlins territory now. So you better enjoy and savor this game. This last football game, if it is, of the season, you got nothing to look forward to on the baseball field. Nothing. I don't even want to report on this shit. They're pathetic. And it's just whoever they can stuff on their roster for cheap. And that isn't the stuff of which talk radio and sports talk radio is made. I don't want to be spending an entire year of 162 games explaining how bad somebody is, or else I'll be back to doing my Manny Acta impression.
Well,
yeah, they're never going to they're not going to bring their manager back. No, because he's sick. They're going to say, hey, Manny, you want to come back and coach this team? I don't wear no stinking badge. Yeah. I was walking through the neighborhood the other day. Actually, I was riding my bike, and you have all of the people who do the lawn work here. And the Hispanic community is very large here in Florida. Yeah, and there was like 8 of them all together, and none of them are wearing masks. Okay, and you're wondering how this spreads like wildfire through the Hispanic community. And the thing that came into my head was, masks, we don't wear no stinking masks. That's what I wanted to yell out. But I thought under the circumstances, I don't like that fast. I think they outrun me. Look.
That's Slowpoke Rodriguez. That's all we would need is Mark shot by a lawn worker for Mike.
Hispanic lawn workers and COVID. Why they're more prone on the next Larry King Live.
Oh, man.
Juarez, Mexico, you're on the air.
El Rocketeer.
So at any rate, we got to pick the game. So we're going to start with Chico Simone there. Hey, Chico. What's the score of this game going to be?
Browns are going to win 29-24.
Brian?
I'm going to go with my heart and say the Browns pull off the upset. 26-23.
Wow.
All right. Rocks, and I know you're always such a sunny disposition.
The Browns are totally gonna win. 24-21.
All right. And Tony the Calf.
My heart wants the Browns to win just to make you guys happy, but
That's sweet. That is so sweet.
Sanity has to prevail in this, and there's been no practice. You're going to get 2 days of, I think, 1 day of practice because they fly to Pittsburgh tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you get 1 day of practice and a walkthrough. You got your offensive line is hurt with COVID. The Steelers are healthy. I just think it's going to be 31-17 Steelers.
Yeah, reality bites. I think that is the expression. And Rick is, and that would be,
Boy, if you lose by a Parkey fucking missed field goal, awesome.
Realistically, I'll tell you what needs to happen. We need to turn over the Steelers. If we get 3 turnovers, if we're +3 on the turnover, we're going to win. And that's what we have to do. We have to get short fields, and we have to turn over Big Ben. And we have to make this.
Get out of my water.
We have to make this Ben Roethlisberger's last game ever.
Well,
I never want to see him on the field again.
We've been there so many times, and we never get enough pressure on this quarterback. And the turnovers, the defense just hasn't come through anywhere near consistently enough with turnovers to really help. I mean, the games that we've won because of the offense and despite the defense. The defense has not won anything for this team this year. So I'm not counting on that to happen. Again, I want the Browns to win. And it would be like as remarkable a feeling as when LeBron won Game 7. I mean, because you're all sitting there in the middle of the fourth quarter saying something bad's going to happen, man. You know that Thompson and Curry are going to start shooting basketballs out of their yopa. They're all going to be going in. And that was going to be the end of it for the Cavaliers, and it never materialized. Yeah, Bronco.
I got a better Cavs analogy. It's when the first time we beat the Pistons and finally got over the hump.
Yeah, it's good.
This is that sort of Browns team. This is like our Cavs Pistons moment.
Yeah, but it was when LeBron beat the Pistons, wasn't it? He scored the last 29 out of 30.
Yeah, he scored the last 29 points in the fourth quarter. And then we got stuck by the Spurs. So I see the teams in a similar sort of timeline right now. That Cavs team and this Browns team.
Yeah, and I think that's an apt comparison. I think the realistic approach here is things are either going to be tight and we have a chance at the end, maybe with a possession, or it's going to go south real quick.
Yeah, well, who's going to be nervous for this game? I mean, if we show up tight and nervous, then we're going to get fucked.
I don't really think the Browns are going to be nervous, nor do I think the Steelers are going to be nervous. I think that the thing with the Steelers this year is that they are a ball possession team and their running game is not prolific. And it does take them a while to score points. As a rule of thumb, they were not throwing the deep ball like Mason Rudolph was last week. They are very much in the middle of the field, a possession-oriented team, and they rely on their defense to hold people to a low level and winning that way. The Steelers are not a juggernaut when it comes to offense, but they will be a juggernaut if the Browns just, with the lack of practice, the lack of having a guy named like Dunn playing out there, and he's going to get beat consistently if that happens.
Oh yeah, he's going to get beat like a drum. But I think the Steelers are looking forward to trying to play the Bills the following week, and I don't think they got the right frame of mind. If you got old Juju, still mouthing off and stuff, that's no way to go into a game.
And my feeling is 27-24 Steelers. I don't like it. That would be my greatest hope, is that the Browns have their hands on the ball with a chance to win the football game. I don't care if it's on our own 8-yard line. If they're up 27-24 and we have our hands on the football, or if they're up anything inside 7 points and we have our hands on the football, one possession for everything. I would rather be in that position with Baker Mayfield than to be sitting here before the game and saying, we're going to have to do this, and this. If you get through most of 4 quarters close to this Steelers team with one chance for it all, then you could at least say, hey, we had that opportunity, and we had the weapon in our hands, and we either used it or we didn't. But the thing is that every 3 and out, every stalled drive puts the ball into the hands of the Steelers playing against our great weakness, our defense. And we've seen our defense get plumb tuckered out on the field. And with the COVID thing, the lack of Olivier Vernon and the lack of Myles Garrett, really, it's going to be very difficult for this defensive front to hold up through 4 quarters of football with very little practice.
Yeah, my greatest fear is the lack of the implementation of a game plan is going to make this go bad.
I think if the Steelers win, the Steelers are going to win big. I don't see them winning a close game.
No, and that's what my concern is, that maybe we can hang in and make
I think if it's a close game, they'll get nervous and choke and give us the game.
I did want to say a couple of nice things about the Cavaliers who won in Memphis.
Where's DG?
Without John Morant. I mean, obviously, but we were without everybody. I mean, give me a break. I mean, we got nobody out on the floor. I mean, we're playing guys. I don't even know where they dug these people up. And there was no reason, that the Grizzlies at home couldn't do better than what they did. They had the game. The game was close, but they kept pulling away a little bit. I mean, they kept letting us back in, and then they pull away a little bit. And then all of a sudden at the end, the Cavaliers, you hold them down to 90 points, which seems to be the way that the Cavaliers are going to win is they're going to try to keep their opponents 105 and under. And the block that Isaac Okoro made was just a remarkable athletic block. If you take a look at that play, and it's very different than LeBron's rundown because, well, I mean, with everything that was at stake when he blocked Iguodala's shot. But this one not only showed how fast this kid is, but he goes in with his right hand, not his inner left hand, to block the shot, and actually goes over the guy to block the shot before it hits the glass, saving the day. We get even on the game. And then in the critical moments where we have to make a big play, up 92 to 90, backdoor. I mean, that the rookie had the opportunity and he saw the opportunity. A great quick pass, by Drummond and the dunk. Okoro has proven to be a smart young man, an athletic young man. I hope he stays healthy. He doesn't yet have a fully mature NBA body, but he is very deceptively strong. He needs to work on his perimeter shot. But I kind of like this Cavalier team when Darius Garland is playing and Colin Sexton is playing, and Kevin Love would be putting in logging some meaningful minutes, and having 2 7-foot guys in the middle to give us some defensive presence. Give the Cavaliers credit. At 5-4, they're doing way better and overperforming what anyone expected. And I think that's, I want to be fair to the organization, because it's a hell of a hard job JB Bickerstaff has. And the longer he can keep these people engaged, the better job he's doing as a coach. I got a kick when I saw Education Secretary Betsy DeVos has resigned. And it's like, I'm amazed that she was able to spell the word resign. I thought that was remarkable under the circumstances.
It's a tricky one.
Yeah, and if you didn't hear, accusations shaking the walls of baseball coming from a fired LA Angels clubhouse attendant who is exposing Garrett Cole as being a junk ball artist, is what it amounts to, doctoring the baseball. But he's not only accusing him, he's accusing many others. Here are the names who have been identified: Garrett Cole, Justin Verlander, Edwin Jackson, Max Scherzer, Felix Hernandez, Corey Kluber, Jabba Chamberlain, Adam Wainwright, and Tyler Chatwood.
Wow.
So, and what you wonder, and I'm not, Kluber was just so great, so damn great for the Indians. And, I don't, am I going to believe this guy? I don't know. What are you going to believe? He did have, by the way, a text message from Garrett Cole. And the text reads, "Hey, Bubba, it's Garrett Cole. I was wondering if you could help me out with this sticky situation," with a winky face emoji. "We don't see you until May, but we have some road games in April that are in cold places. The stuff I had last year seizes up when it gets cold."
Wow.
That's pretty damning. And the other thing I'll tell you is that Kluber had remarkable bite on his slider. And, and how many players are actually doing this? Well, we're going to find out how this unfolds, but it's not a good look. Not a good look.
If you do that in cricket, you get banned for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And that's happened. Similar situation.
Yeah, but it just destroys reputations of Cy Young Award winners now, doesn't it? And what's happening in Dallas is what happens to every sports franchise. Mike McCarthy survives, and he's firing his coordinators. Mike Nolan, the defensive coordinator, he gone. And defensive line coach Jim Tomsula gone. Somehow that just doesn't surprise me.
Well, I'm canceling my MLB radio subscription that I've had since like 1990, whatever, because I'm just fed up with them, the Dolans trading away.
Yeah, well,
I'm not even going to fucking renew my audio subscription. I wasn't getting the TV anyway.
Yeah, but you knew that they could never afford to pay it.
If they still want to, it's not that they can't afford. They're billions, Brian.
I'll be honest.
Even the Twins have an $80 million payroll, for God's sake.
I mean, $35 million
Minnesota.
In 1995 dollars is worth about $70 million today.
Yeah, I mean, it's
that's what this difference is, and we were paying $80 million in 1995.
And watch, they're going to bring Edwin Encarnacion back, and so he'd be on, with a walk.
Jason Giambi.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. Rocky Colavito with one leg. I I'm not thrilled with
Jason
it.
Kipnis with no legs.
Yeah, I'll tell you something that I probably shouldn't tell you, but the last couple of years, I just can't sit and watch 3 hours of baseball. It's just boring.
Oh, it's awful, particularly with Underwood.
So what I did is, yeah, I don't want to watch it. So what I do is I record the games and I fast forward it, and I already know who won the game because I watch it the next day. And I just fast forward through the moments of the game that seem like they're important to me. I watch the closer come in. I watch how they scored their runs, how they gave up their runs, and all of that. And I'm in and I'm out. And
MLB TV, you just click on the half inning that you want to watch and do it that way. But who wants to pay $100 to do that?
Exactly right. I mean, I don't blame anybody for backing out. And for Ohio State fans, you may not beat Alabama, but football coach Jim Harbaugh is back in Michigan. Yes, they've reached a contract extension. And so that should be good enough news for people in Columbus that we're going to have more of Jimmy Boy to kick around. So
what song is Rox going to sing when we beat the Steelers? She has to sing a song after we win. Just pick a song.
I'm a survivor. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to work harder. I'm a survivor. I'm going to make it. I will survive. Keep on surviving.
It's good.
I don't even know what that song is. What is that song?
Beyonce.
Oh.
Destiny's Child.
Destiny's Child, yeah.
All right. So what are you going to sing now before the game?
Just a small town girl.
It's the final countdown.
I was trying to think of Bronk mentioned a song earlier, Downtown. I don't know the lyrics to that one, but I will sing. I'm going down. I'm going down. 'Cause you ain't around, baby. My whole world's upside down.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm trying to think of what I don't think I can top that. What song?
Unless Peter Alice wants to.
How about Lunatic Fringe from Red Rider?
Wait.
Lunatic
Fringe. We all know you're out there. God, I hated that fucking song.
Yeah.
Do you know that the guy who sang "Lunatic Fringe" by the Red Rider guy? Do you know that
Cochran?
Yeah. Do you know that he had a hit single later on?
Yes.
Yeah. Remember?
Life is a highway.
I want to ride it all night
long.
Same guy. Yeah.
And then there was a country bastardized version of it that was in Cars.
What the movie Cars?
Yeah, by Rascal Flatts.
I thought it was the Rick Ocasek story. All right.
Yeah.
Everybody, thanks a lot for tuning in. Hey, we got a lot to look forward to. Tomorrow, the Cavaliers are playing, and Sunday, of course, we'll be up. 8:15 start. We'll be there at halftime. And damn it, I'm going to be there after the game. We're going to see it through one way or the other. That's what good fans do.
You're doing a post-game show on Sunday night?
I sure am.
Damn. Midnight Woohead. That's
live and die with the team. Live and die with the team,
Here's your Moohead After Dark.
Maybe Steven can join after 3 bottles of wine.
All right. So everybody, take care. Stay healthy.
Or 3 boxes.
Enjoy the game, and I'll see you at halftime on Sunday. And fingers crossed for the Cleveland Browns. We need all the help we can get. Everybody, thanks a lot for tuning in. See you at halftime. Until then, hasta la vista, Pastor Heads. Good night.